happy-go-lucky girl who always had a guy on the go.
After introducing Jennifer Reeves, I felt that would be a good way to introduce her character, would be having a shot of what her character is actually like. My plot was based on a happy-go-lucky girl, which I used in a voiceover. The whole idea of the plot is that she has more than one guy at once, and then something goes wrong along the lines. In the trailer, we hear the clip "I love you" further on, but obviously, as it's not a whole movie, the plot isn't set in stone. Though in short, it's meant to be about one girl who has more than one guy on the go. And to show this, I thought I'd use one of my actors and Jennifer Reeves there walking hand in hand in a field as if they were they're going out for a date or just enjoying themselves. And I started off with a mid shot really, then walking towards the camera and then running off to off screen, off the camera. Now this next clip I feel is more of like an interlude between parts of the trailer. It works well after the voiceover. We have the voiceover saying that she had always a guy on the go, which is kind of like she's quite a cheeky character, pretty much a happy-go-lucky girl. And to emphasize this, this clip again was not actually recorded intentionally. I got this as a low-angle shot, setting up for another clip I wanted to add into my trailer. However, I decided to use this, and it really reflects the audio. You have she's a happy-go-lucky girl, always had a guy on the go, followed by her laughing as if she's doesn't take any of this seriously. She thinks it's all a big game. So yeah, I think it works well together. The camera angle I've chosen is a low angle shot, and I think this is just to emphasize her, I guess, her dominance over everything else, or maybe what she feels is her dominance, as if she's in charge of everyone. And this, I do think, uses the conventions of a typical media trailer. Obviously, when we see a villain or a hero in any type of film, I'm guessing that this would be in an action film, but you have different types of stop shots distinguish what's going on, and in most cases a low angle shot shows superior for the character which is in the shot. But I decided to use this, and I think it works well.
She would have them head over heels in love.
Now this clip, I wasn't actually too sure with in the end. I had a few comments from audience feedback, from my teachers mainly, on this shot. I feel that the voiceover kind of describes what I was meant to be going on, as if it says they have them head over heels in love, and I wanted an image of someone on the phone making sure she's okay, pretty much knowing where she is 24/7 as they are head over heels in love. However, I don't feel that the camera work in this film really did any justice towards that. I always described that the shot was more like a bit sinister, possibly like a drug dealer in an action film, ringing up his colleagues or something and trying to find out where the drugs are or something. But I feel that given a second opportunity, I would have changed this clip, maybe in a different location, different lighting, definitely, different clothing. But what I really wanted to go for here was the link between what the voiceover is saying and what the actual motion picture is describing to the audience. So a bit disappointed overall with that clip. But I think there's going to be things in there which I'm not going to be 100% about, and that I mean, a lot of these things I have learned from my audience feedback where I should change and how I can improve. So I think that's one of those clips, and there we go. I would change it if I had more time in the future to change it. So follow on from the previous clip, I was still trying to emphasise the voiceover comment which I've chosen, the head over heels in love. I had my actor Harry roll back onto the floor with his hands over his head, smiling. And again, this is a high angle shot this time, and I guess that I've chosen this to use and develop conventions of a normal trailer or media products, and I've done this because to show that he's pretty much under the spell of Jennifer Reeves there. She has dominance and superiority over him, so I mean he's lying on the floor there, but obviously to show a bit of comical side and to show that he's head over heels in love, big cheesy grin on his face. I think that the lighting here used was quite good. I think that really follows conventions, and the mise en scène. For instance, the clothing of the character here, I think, really does follow a typical romantic comedy. Why I would say this is because in most romantic comedies, actually, one of the most famous actors there is Hugh Grant, and I don't think there are many places in the trailers I've watched without Hugh Grant wearing a shirt, and I thought I'd follow this given the Hugh Grant look, which I've really tried to emphasise in some of my clips, and followed it, and I think it looks quite well and fits the part.
You okay?
Okay, so again, this clip follows on from the voiceover there, having them head over heels in love, and I have this clip shows one of the boyfriends ringing up and finding out if she's okay, which is the dialogue. In fact, about the dialogue, I didn't really feel I had enough dialogue in the actual trailer as a general, and this came from my audience feedback, in fact, that I should have maybe added a bit more, both just to make the audience aware what the film's about, and even just to add some more comedy sketches. Though, as I explained in one of the previous videos, I found it quite hard to write for comedy. Thinking of sketches which would make people laugh and not being too cheesy were quite difficult. So but I thought it was about time I added a bit of dialogue in, and so I added it here. I think the outside location shows, I don't know, maybe the style of the character. I think I've used a mixture here, the conventions. As I said previously about the Hugh Grant look in a romantic comedy, I've gone against this, giving him in a t-shirt. It kind of makes him look a bit more unsophisticated and not so serious, and in fact maybe he'd be the character who's doesn't have a lot of luck on his side, and again, but the outside location links with the previous clip. Sorry, not the previous clip. Links with the next clip, and this just to show the contrast between the two characters, where they are different lifestyles. But I'll move on to that now.